Training, I'm going to be going over the different types of carbohydrates and how they affect your body. All right. So, not all carbs are created equal. And this is why, right? So, if you look here, this is a big pyramid of carbohydrates. So, the idea of this is how quickly your carbs are digested, right? So, we have this thing called the glycemic index, right? And the more, quickly a carb can be digested, right? The higher the number is. So 100 to 0, right? So nothing's completely 0. But when it comes to carbs, everything has sugar, right? Or anything's broken down into sugar. But think of it that. So think of 100 being really bad and 0 being really good, right? So it's what this pyramid represents. So the top part here, the foods containing added sugars, right? So that's higher on the end. It's really high glycemic. And then we got all the way down here, green veggies are your lowest, right? So refined grains, whole grains and starches, fruit, veggies, all that stuff right there is what comes up with it, right? So we're gonna break this down Barney style, kind of what this is, right? So we have our foods containing added sugar. So the term added sugars encompasses a large variety of foods. Once you start reading food labels, you will be shocked at how many foods actually contain added sugars. We have our refined grains, right? So refined grains are grains that have undergone processing such that the bran and germ are removed. The bran and germ are nutrient-rich parts of grains that contain fiber and vitamins and minerals. So another downside of refined grains is the carbohydrates in these usually are generally more accessible for faster digestion and absorption, right? We have our whole grains and starches. So this is the first group of quality carbohydrates that you will come to in the hierarchy. Whole grain and starch-based carbohydrates include whole grain pasta, breads, brown rice, quinoa, buckwheat, corn potatoes, and other similar foods. These foods are carbohydrate dense, but generally lack the processing that removes fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Fruits. All whole fruit are included in the category, but not fruit juices. Drinking calories, even from fruit juices, should be limited, as it is very easy to overconsume these calories. So anytime you're drinking your calories, right, you have to be wary of that because you can always overdo it, right? So we have our vegetables. So vegetables, this is the group of carbohydrates include all non-green veggies, right? This category also includes beans and legumes. Even though they are not vegetables, the nutritional characteristics mimic foods in this category the closest. Vegetables in this group would include tomatoes. Tomatoes might be a fruit, depending on who you ask. Got our onions, butternut squash, corn, black beans, chickpeas, acorn squash, eggplant, and other similar foods. Then we have our lowest here, right? So it's why at the bottom of our pyramid is our green veggies. These are the lowest carbohydrate foods. They contain a high fiber and water content, making it not just low in carbohydrate, but low in calories as well. Vegetables in this category include broccoli, cabbage, scallions, peppers, Brussels sprouts, zucchini, kale, spinach, lettuce, and other similar foods, right? So looking back here at the hierarchy, right? Essentially, what we want to focus on is more green veggies down here at the bottom, more at the bottom stuff, and less of the stuff up top, right? Now, I don't want you to get in your head that, you can never have a donut, you never have frosted flakes, you never have candy ever again, right? So that is some really backwards thinking. But what I want you to focus on is encompassing more of these things down here at the bottom, right? Now, some people say the 80-20 rule or whatever. Really what it is about is what can you fit in and feel good about what you're doing. That's what I want you to focus on, right? All carbohydrates are built a little different, right? But sometimes, there are reasons why you would want some sugar, right? There are some reasons why you should probably eat green veggies and fruit and veggies and other stuff, right? So what we need to do here is find what works for you. Some people, they can't have that stuff around because they're going to eat the whole bag. So you probably shouldn't keep that stuff around. But some people, it's hard for them to get access to green vegetables or even veggies in general, right? So we got to find a common ground and work our way to becoming better.